I am super stoked to share another one of my favorite plugins that I've got in my toolbox. It's called Coming-Soon-Pro by SeedProd. Now, Coming-Soon-Pro is a paid plugin, but SeedProd also has a free version of the plugin available. It's called Coming-Soon Maintenance Mode. This plugin is fabulous for when you don't have a website yet, or you're first building a website and you want to start building your list before your website launches. It connects to most of the internet email marketing providers out there, and it makes it super easy for your new audience to share the excitement of your impending launch. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and configure most of the basic settings of Coming-Soon-Pro. So first, what you need to do is log in to your WordPress backend. Once you've logged in, you want to go to Plugins, Add New. Now, if you want to install the free version, just search for Coming Soon. If you scroll down, you'll see this one here, Coming Soon and Maintenance Mode by SeedProd. That's the one that you want to install. I'm going to install the Pro paid version. So I've already downloaded it on my computer from the SeedProd site. So I'm just going to click Open and then Install Now. So some of the most notable differences between the Pro and the free versions are that you can actually add a name, a first name and a last name field when you're collecting email addresses, and that can be really helpful. With the free version, you can only collect the email address. Another one that's really cool is that you can set a secret URL for folks to bypass the Coming Soon page when you're doing user testing. When you've built your new website and you're in that user testing mode, you can give folks a super secret URL and they can visit your site and see all of the cool things that you've developed and bypass that Coming Soon page. Another cool thing that I really like is that you can integrate Google Fonts or Typekit fonts, and you can also add social sharing options. You can integrate Google Analytics. There's like a landing page mode, lots and lots of cool things. So once the plugin has installed, you want to click Activate Plugin. And it's activated. Now we're going to configure it. So you're going to scroll down to your settings and select Coming Soon Pro. So here's your basic page settings. You can choose whether to enable or disable Coming Soon mode, and then you've got these two other fancy modes, Maintenance mode and Redirect mode. Maintenance mode is going to notify search engines that your site's unavailable, and the Redirect mode allows you to redirect to another page. You want to enter your license key, and then you get into the cool content settings. So you can upload your own customized logo from your WordPress media file. You can set a headline, and then you can set a description. Now this part's really cool. In your description, you can just put something really simple like, I'm building my new website. Please enter your name and email below to be notified of when my super exciting launch happens. Or, like I've done in this one, you can add a lot more text and HTML to create what's more like a landing page. So it's kind of more like a long form sales page. I'll show you what it looks like in a bit. So for your form settings here, you can either choose to collect names and email addresses or not. So if I just click this X here, I can choose to do not display an email sign-up, or I can choose to save email addresses to the database. You can also choose to save your email addresses to one of many different email marketing providers. I'm going to choose MailChimp. So once you select a provider, you need to click Save Changes. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get this extra configuration box here where you can configure all of your settings. So you can get your API key from MailChimp, and then you can select a list for those email addresses to be saved to. There's a lot of other configuration options, like you can enable double opt-in, you can enable to send a welcome email. You can save folks who opt in through this Coming Soon Pro page to a specific group. I like this one here, update existing. So if you're offering a new product or service and collecting email addresses and folks may be opting in that are already on your list, you can choose to update the existing subscribers instead of giving them an error saying that they are already subscribed. This is really good for your user experience. And another one that you can choose here is to replace the interest groups with the groups provided, or add provided groups to the members' interest list groups. Once you've saved those settings, you can go back to your page settings. And you can choose whether or not to show the name field, and you can choose whether or not that name field is required. You can add privacy policy text. This is a really great place to inject some of your brand into your Coming Soon page. The words, "I promise I'll never spam you," that's, a little boring and maybe not so aligned with my brand. So I can choose to change my text there so it's a little bit more witty and a little bit more tongue-in-cheek and aligned with my brand. Again, on your thank you page settings, this is the page that folks see after they opt in, and this is another wonderful way for you to inject a little bit more of your brand personality. You can say things like, "Yippee, I can't wait to connect with you." And then you can also add text to ask folks to share this information, because social sharing is where it's at. Throw in some text there asking folks to share this Coming Soon page with their networks. And you can choose to share it on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, or Tumblr. You can add optional tweet text. So if someone tweets that page, you can add text there that encourages folks to follow you on Twitter. So this is when folks are sharing your page on Facebook, you can control what image shows up there. And again, you can upload it via your WordPress media library. Click to select, and there it is. You can do exactly the same thing with your Pinterest thumbnail. You can choose to display your share buttons on the front page. I recommend that you don't. User testing results have shown that folks are more likely to make an action when they only have one choice. So if you're asking folks to opt into your list, you don't want to display those share buttons on the front page, because then you're asking them to do more than one thing. So if you're trying to collect email addresses, what you want to do is step one, have folks opt into your list, and then once they've opted in, you can show the share buttons after they have opted in. However, if you're not collecting names and email addresses, then yes, go ahead and display those share buttons on your front page. Now, the refer link is a special link that you can encourage your subscribers to share so that you can track who referred you. You can choose to turn that on or off. Progress bar. Now, this one's really cool. You can show folks the progress of your new website development on the Coming Soon page. So you can turn this on or off. And if you turn it on, you can type in a start date and an end date, and it'll automatically calculate your progress. If you choose not to add dates, then you can totally override the percentage that you're complete. So let's say you really want to say that you're 60% complete, or maybe you're 86% complete. You can use this slider here to adjust those settings. I'm going to turn this off. You can also display a countdown, and this is really cool as well. You can say that your site is going to launch on May 1st, and you can set a date, a time, and your minute. You can set the format, and then you can also say auto launch. So this is really cool when you're completed all of your development and you've finished your user testing and you're ready to launch and you want it to simply launch without you having to touch anything. You can set it to auto launch. Now in the social media profile section, you can display an icon on your page and link it to your social media profiles. You can use image or font icons, and then you can choose the size. And also always choose for your social icons to open your social profiles in a new window. And here's where you would add all of your social profiles. And if you wanted to change the order, you just click on this 4-direction icon and drag the social profile up higher. Likewise, you can click and drag lower. Now this is really great. Your SEO section is where you can put text that's going to be inserted in the head tag on your page. So you can put a favicon, an SEO title, meta description, and even a Google Analytics code. If you want to, you can put a footer credit that shows at the bottom right-hand corner of the page. Let's say you've got an image that you want to credit to a specific photographer, you can do that. Okay, so once you've finished configuring these settings, make sure you save your changes and move on to the fun part, the design settings. So in your design settings, you can choose a pre-designed theme, or you can get really, really granular and make your own design settings. So in the background settings, you can choose a color or you can choose an image. And this is really cool. So for example, in this coming soon page, I've chosen a white background with this logo and long form text with a notify me button. It collects the name and email address of folks on your site. And that's the notification bar I was telling you about that displays your progress. Now this coming soon page, what we've got is we've got a background slideshow. And this is really, really cool if you want to add an element of dynamism to your coming soon page. So let's look at how we would configure that. So it's right here in the background slideshow settings, you would turn that on. And you can randomize the images, you can choose your slide speed, you can choose your slide transition, and then you can add slideshow images by clicking on the plus button and uploading. I'll show you how it looks like when it's configured. So this one, we've got a slide speed of 3000. That's 3 seconds. The slide transition is fade, and here's all the slideshow images. Click the minus button when you're done. You could also add a background video. This is super cool if you've got like a 10 to 20 second video that's on a loop. It will add that extra element of dynamism to your site. If you add a background video, it's going to override the settings above for slideshow images. Mobile devices won't play the video, so a background image is your best choice. Now this is a really fun part of the Pro plugin. It's the typography section. And you can get really granular and choose what Google fonts you want to display. And you've got a whole list of all the Google fonts, which is super awesome. You can also change your font color, the size, the weight and style, and your subsets. If you've got a typekit ID, you can enter that here, and it's going to override the Google fonts. Container. You can actually add a container that's going to wrap all of your content in a box. And you can choose what color it is. You can choose the opacity of it, so whether you can see through it or not. How it's justified, left, center, or right. How large it is. You can choose a border radius to get some nice rounded corners. You can add a border or not. And you can use flat colors or gradients. And I will show you what that looks like. So on this page here, we've got a box, and it's containing all the information, the logo, the headline, the content, and the subscribe. Whereas this one is, again, more of a landing page, so it does not have a box to contain it. So as you can see, you can get really, really granular with how you design your coming soon page. Now in this template area, you can actually customize your CSS, and you can customize your template code. So this is going to copy your current template's code and put it in the field below so that you can add your own custom HTML. This is a really awesome feature for more advanced users. So once you've finished configuring all these extra design settings, click Save Changes. Language strings is another wonderful area where you can inject a little bit of your brand personality. So for example, the subscribe button could say subscribe, or it could say notify me, or it could even say yes please, whatever you choose. You could say enter your email, or simply email address, enter your name, or just name, or first name. This is your success message. So as you can see, you can get really, really granular and change the text. As always, remember to save your changes when you're done. In the advanced settings, this is where you get to change that super secret URL so that folks can do some user testing on your site. So if anyone were to visit websitewhip.com/letmein, they would get to be bypassed right past that coming soon page and then go directly into the website. Bypass expires. So this is how long people have to view the site before they have to enter that super secret URL again. So basically what this does is it puts a cookie in the person's browser that lets them view the site, but then you can set it to expire. If you don't ever want it to expire, you can just allow folks access by IP address. You could also give them access by role. So let's say you want all administrators of the website to never have to see the coming soon page, always have access to your development site. You can go ahead and select administrator. So all administrators will always have access and will bypass that coming soon page. You can also put it into landing page mode. So this is one of those really cool things that if you've got a premium theme that maybe doesn't have a page template that removes your header navigation, and you really want to have a landing page for your opt-in or your next sales page or something like that, you can actually choose this to go into landing page mode. So it'll only display the coming soon page on one page of your site, and it'll use it as a landing page. So you can select what page you would like it to always display on. You can also choose certain URLs to only display the coming soon page on in a section of your site. So if you want all of the pages underneath blog to show that just the landing page, you can put that in there. And you can also exclude URL patterns. So let's say you are using this as a landing page mode and you want folks to be able to access another page that's linked from it, you can enter that URL pattern right there. Now the script section is a little bit more advanced. I'll say that you always want to enable FitVid. That makes your videos responsive. You can enable to serve high-resolution images on devices with retina displays. You can also enable third-party plugins, disable default excluded URLs. You can display the language switcher. And then here's a really cool part. You can add header, footer, and conversion scripts. And these are really cool if you're doing things like, say you're using Facebook ads and you want to add a conversion script. You can add that here. The plugin API allows you to change the Coming-Soon-Pro plugin's behavior, so please leave this blank if you're not sure how to use it. This subscribers section here will show you all the people who have subscribed to your landing page if you've chosen the database option. If you're choosing to send users to Aweber or MailChimp or another email provider like that, they're not going to show up here. Import and export is wonderful if you want to export all of your settings. This is where you get support. And honestly, John's really, really cool. He's the developer of the plugin and he's super, super helpful. Like I said earlier, this is your email provider settings. And that's it. So there are a lot of settings to configure on this plugin, but it's super robust, it's super flexible, and you can make a really slick coming soon page that's super branded and converts. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share it with your social networks and let me know what you think in the comments below.